It's Wednesday, and welcome to the Contrarians. We are live, and tonight we're going to look at our favorite covers where the people on the cover are not the artist or the band. Who are these people? Let's get started. The panel's here. Let's do it. Holy crap, we are live, and it is Wednesday, and it's hump day, but we're here. We've got a live show. We are going to be talking about who are these people? Everybody knows these album covers where there's people on there, and you're going, who is that? Like on the thumbnail, you've got the Honeymoon Suite, who might be mentioned here tonight. But who is that woman with the spiky bed? I don't know, but we're going to get down to it. We might not, but we're choosing these album covers that we like. We want to hear from you in the chat. What are these album covers that you're looking at it and go, well, that really has nothing to do with the band, but might be a good cover. So we're keeping it loose. We're just going to let it rip like we always do. So I want to welcome the panel tonight. We've got Johnny Metal. We've got Tim from Tim's Vinyl Confessions. I just had a brain crisis. Tim's Vinyl Confessions. We have Peter Kerr here. We've always see Peter. Peter's a regular. But we're going to do it. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We ran a little late, but hey, it's a live show. So let's get started. We're going to go Johnny Metal, Tim, Peter, myself, and we are going to go round and round and round. And we're going to go 3, 3, and 4. So, all right. Johnny Metal.
All right, well, Grant's already got my first pickup, 1991's Fates Warning from the Parallels album, their 6th album overall, with the old guy laying on the bed and who's probably been in so many album covers and videos. We're like, who the heck is that guy?
Who is that guy?
So he's the Unforgiven guy, right?
He is the Unforgiven guy. Yeah.
Is it the Unforgiven guy? I guess
he certainly looks like it.
Yeah.
He certainly looks like it. But great album, great songs on there from prog metal at its best. My next pick is the 3rd album, the follow-up to their big album Lean Into It, Mr. Big's Bump Ahead. Unfortunately, didn't do quite as good as Lean Into It. Probably just didn't have the big enough single. But yeah, who'd want to be that poor guy? Man, you don't think that would hurt if he got his head up in just the right.
Yeah, and that was shot like early, didn't it? Aren't those cars like from the 60s? That's an old picture.
Looks like it.
It's a good cover.
It is a good cover. And they have a good cover of Wild World on it too. So my next pick is the girl with the chainsaw. Or the chick with the chainsaw from Accept's debut from 1979. Little hint, coming in September to my music corner. We're going to be doing some accepts. So
shameless plug.
Shameless plug.
You're going to get probably a lot of those tonight. So anyway, so that was that. Jamie Laszlo was supposed to be with us. I'm going to just read off his first 3 because he sent them to us all. And
you know what? For the fact that I put the damn graphics together, we're going to read them out. Go ahead.
That's right. The first one that's on his list, and I hope you have them in the right order.
Well, whatever. I'll
the Weezer, the Hurley album. Wow. That kind of looks like Wolfgang Van Halen a little bit.
He does, but that's the guy from Lost.
Okay, you're right.
And I don't know what
And I don't mean that as a slag against Wolfgang because he's great, but
he looks like Chumlee from Vegas, the Vegas porn stars.
Yeah, the Chub. Yeah.
Do they play porn stars? Do they play Pawn Stars over there in Australia?
Yes, they do. Yeah, I was just there a couple of weeks ago. But
you were?
like Chumlee. Yeah,
it does look like Chum. Did you see Chumlee when you were there?
No, I wasn't. No, he wasn't there. Sorry.
Was anybody there?
No, nobody.
Yeah, it's a TV show pretty much now. All right, cool.
All right, his next pick is the Hemispheres album by Rush.
Yeah.
Again, with everybody's favorite, the same guy that's on the Going for the One album from Yes, with the guy maybe from with the face of some of the graphics you see from the Pink Floyd "Wish We Were Here" album sometimes. But anyway, and then his next pick to round the three out is Scorpions Blackout.
Great cover.
Great cover. Painful looking, but great.
Very
cover.
painful. Yes.
Very painful. All right. Well, I'm going to check out, see what is happening in the chat. Again, I want to welcome everybody for popping in tonight. We'd love it. Here's one. Oh, yes, that's a good one. Bebop Deluxe, if it would pop up. Sunburst Finish cover. Yeah, I would put that up here, but I don't think we could pull that together. What do you mean we know where my mind is tonight? What are you talking about, Tony? Chumley is in jail? Is he?
I think he came out.
I think he came out.
Here's a good one. Great White Hooked. I think we might be seeing some Great White tonight, but not necessarily that one. Here we go. UFO Force It. Goes with Head Games. There you go. D Rocker. Peter Jones is here. Elder of Rock is here. Heck, everybody's here. Ken White. Oh, this is going to be great. All right. Let's throw it over to Tim Durling. Tim, what are your 3 picks?
All right. Well, there's a couple of them that might be cheating because they're actually movie soundtracks, so they're movie pictures on them. But if the soundtracks are all done by one...
No offense, but you're like... Does he seem low to everybody?
Oh.
You seem kind of low.
Well, when I have my microphone on, I'm told I'm too loud. So...
We'll just put it down low. Sorry.
Well, that's the problem. I have to charge my microphone.
All right, just go with it. We'll deal with it.
I'm going to have to shout.
Let it all
Don't
out.
shout, Tim.
Okay.
All right, go ahead.
All right. Well, I'm sitting up closer to my phone. I hope that helps. Just a minute.
I'm going to have to buy Tim some equipment. I just know it. I just
got
feel
equipment.
that I'm going to have to do it. What?
The last couple of times I've done this, I've been told you're too loud. So hang on a second. I might be able to do something with this.
All right, cool.
It just wouldn't be a live show without some sort of catastrophe.
Well, you hear on the Contrarians, we like to keep it loose. Maybe not quite this loose, but that's pretty loose.
Better?
Go ahead.
Try
it again. Yes.
That's better? Okay.
Well, all right. Put it down lower, though.
All right. How's that? Is that better? Is that all right?
Yeah, it's over-modulating, but...
There's no pleasing type.
I know. We're hard to please. I'm
So I'll
going to buy
just
Tim
hold it like
something.
this.
Yeah, that's fine. All right.
I don't
Go
know
ahead.
how to like that. Okay, soundtrack. Well, it's a soundtrack by one band.
What? Oh, yes. Hold on. Let me get it up.
Does that look like any members of Toto to you?
It does not.
Okay, well that's
now I'm getting a feedback loop.
good Lord.
Hold on. Let me... Isolation. Sorry, everybody. Go ahead.
So there's that one.
All right.
And this is actually one that made me think of this subject. Fleetwood Mac, Behind the Mask. So this, of course, is the album after Lindsey Buckingham left. So I'm not sure what they were going with this cover. They've got a group of people. There's men, there's women. One of the people in the picture is even playing guitar, but that's not Fleetwood Mac. So who is it?
I don't know who it is, but you know what I thought when I looked at the cover? I've never really paid attention to this record. It was a blip on the screen. I always thought that was Stevie Nicks on the cover.
Yeah, it's not.
But it's not.
Yeah. And my last one, the band's been mentioned already. One of the people on it has been mentioned already. So, Exit Stage Left. So you got, the girl from Permanent Waves. You got the guy from Hemispheres, to say nothing of the back. So there he is again. I know that guy's name, but you got the Movers from Moving Pictures. You got the King from Farewell to Kings. So those are my first 3.
All right, cool. Excellent choices. All right, Peter Kerr, what you got?
Okay. This is one of Grant's favorite bands. We've got a rapper Styx album in this little package, don't we? So Styx, Pieces of 8, which is, I think it's Hypnosis. Correct me if I'm wrong.
It is Hypnosis. It just disappeared. There it is.
But,
woo, woo.
Yeah, I like this album cover. I think it's very effective, very moody, and it sort of makes you want to put the slab of vinyl on the player and hear what they've got to say. So,
yeah, I think originally when that came out, I don't think the band was too hip to that. I think Tommy Shaw said he's come around to it, but I don't think at the time they were into this album cover at all. But
I think it's one of their best album covers.
I think it's a good album cover.
Mysterious. It's kind of mysterious.
Yeah, it is.
All right, a couple of obscurities here, folks. So just hang in. There's this band called City Boy. Now, this album was one of the first projects of Mutt John Lang. He did their first 5 albums. How would I describe this? It's like UK glam rock. It's more of what these guys became. Now, one of the guitarists, Max Thomas, was a session guitarist. He played on albums by, say, Winger and Kicks. And there was another guy called Mike Slammer who recorded, I think he co-wrote She Bop, Goonies with Cyndi Lauper. And I think he was behind the Britney Spears label, worked with a lot of pop artists of the 90s. So this is a band of what they became of much later. It's pretty fine kind of glam pop. It's catchy, infectious, but it didn't trouble the charts, but it's more of, this was the starting point. Album cover, you look at it, it's sort of like, the temptations of a young band going into, the big city. It's sort of got a bit of a Hypnosis feel. So, yeah, it's worth checking out. City Boy. I don't know if you heard of that. Have you heard of them, Grant?
I used to have that. Yep, I've heard of it. I do have a question. Didn't Mike Slammer play on Creatures of the Night?
Yes, I think maybe.
I don't know what track. I think
maybe a little.
Mike Slammer wasn't on that. What was he on? Wasn't he on a Kiss album?
No. Mike Slammer actually played all the guitars on the first 2 Warrant albums.
That's what I'm
saying. And
I swear he was on Creatures.
Mike was not. There was a lot of different guitarists on Creatures, like dude from Mr. Mister, Steve George. No, not Steve George.
I know who you mean, and I can't
think of his name.
Dude wrong with the hair.
Yeah, his name's gone right in my head.
Yeah.
But Robin Ford played on a solo. But not Mike Slammer. Mike Slammer was also in the band Streets with Steve Walsh.
Elder answered. Steve Ferris.
Steve Ferris.
Thank you. Thank you.
The brain. Thank you, John. All right, cool.
Anyway, good starting point. One more obscurity. This is called Photo Maker Transfer Station. They started off as a power pop band. You had the bass player and the drummer, I think, from the Rascals. I think one of your favorite band members from the Raspberries joined them.
Wally Bryson.
But by the time it came to this album, this is kind of a little bit more soft rock, less power pop, maybe even a little bit yacht rock. But and a lot of funk involved. But it's a little bit of a curio. I'm fairly new to this band, and this one had a cutoff, so I just got it in a bargain bin. But it's worth a listen, and it's just one of those typical '70s albums where they put a glamorous model, and it's got nothing to do with the music or the band. You don't even know what the band really look like. See, it's just black, so faceless. Anyway, bit of a curio.
Tim is really loud. Hold on, I'll fix it. Hold on, everybody. I'll bring him down a little bit.
Don't bring me down too much. Don't bring me down.
Well, let me know how Tim sounds now, because he came back in and now he's back. Is he a little bit lower now? Count. How's he sound?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Testing. 1, 2, 3. All right, let's see what up.
Siblings.
Right. Steve Ferris is from my neck of the woods. Oh, BM Bolt, look, bragging again. Angels, Vinyl Planet, Duran Duran, Rio. There you go. Pink Floyd, Wish You Were Here. Helmet, Betty. I don't think that one comes up tonight. Oh, oh, wow. Phantom Rocker and Slick Cover Girl. Oh, I haven't thought about that record in years. That's a good one. What else? Oh, here we go. Legs Diamond, Town Bad Girl.
That's quite a cover.
Yeah. Well, we're going to see some interesting covers because once I started, I kind of got on a thing. There's some pretty good covers here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I'm
still too loud, I'm told.
You're still too loud?
I just don't know what to do.
Well, I can keep bringing you down, but all right, let me bring him down. Hold on. How's he now?
Test 1, 2. Check 1, 2. Hey. Check 1, 2.
It's fine to me.
Does he sound okay to you, John?
Sounds okay in my ears.
All right. Fast Wait, Bad Girls. There you go. Hack, Sparks Kimono My House. That's a great one.
That is a great one. I didn't think of that one.
That is a great cover. That always reminds me of Hypnosis, and I don't think it is. We've got the word from Jason that you are good to go, Tim. All right. Thanks, everybody. Let's keep it moving. And it's me. I am going to go with, once I can find mine. Okay. We've already mentioned this band once, and it's a Hypnosis cover, and it's kind of one of those album covers I don't think you could get away with now because it would definitely be banned. No, not that one, but this one. Scorpions, Animal Magnetism. Is this a good cover? We're supposed to pick good covers. I don't know if this is a good cover, but I don't know. When I was a kid, it didn't bother me because I was a kid and I didn't really care. Now it's more frowned upon. Maybe it was, I don't know if it was ever praised, but
how will
they
mention this album cover in 100 years? I'll never know. How will they describe this album cover?
I don't know. In a different world. My next one I am picking, I'm going to go with a band that I don't really care for, but I like the cover. I'm going to go with Warrant Cherry Pie. Now, could this album cover be released today?
Believe it or not, that's a Hugh Syme cover.
That Hugh is kind of a pervert. But
he did Hooked, too.
He did what?
Hooked. Great White.
Great White.
Hugh was on a roll. But I'm not sure if this could be released today. It seems kind of derogatory. Misogynistic, maybe?
The $50 question. Who's the girl? Is it Bobby
It's
Brown?
Bobby Brown.
I don't think, not on the cover, I don't think.
I think it is.
I think it is. Is she married, what's his name?
She married Janie Lane. Actually, there's a picture on the inner sleeve that's even worse.
Is that her on the cover, gentlemen? Just let me know.
Yeah,
out there.
Let the panel speak.
The import Animal Magnetism makes it look like the dog attacks the object of the girl's attention. Thank you, BM Bolt. Super trip. We might see that again. See? Dumb cover. See? All right. Well, let me know. Is that Bobby Brown on the cover of Warrant? My next pick, I'm going to go with, I know we're supposed to pick good covers, but I don't know. Some people might like this. I know some people think this cover is great, and I'm just going to go with that. But I don't think it represents the band so much. But the Knack Serious Fun. Gentlemen, is this a good cover?
I think it's a little cheap. It's not as good as their early covers in any shape or form.
But I guess it's okay. This record didn't do diddly. But
that's probably more the record label, right? Wasn't that a Charisma?
It was a Charisma album.
None of the revived Charisma albums, like the 38 Special, and none of them did anything.
Yeah.
The font's pretty weak. It doesn't really sort of stick out saying the Knack is back font. Sort of thing.
I mean, the image is fine. I think it could have been executed a little bit better, but some people like this cover. Some people don't. I'm throwing it out there. All right, cool. Let's go over to Johnny Metal.
Okay. All right. So number 7, I believe somebody has mentioned this band in the comments. The debut for Black Sabbath, with that lovely picture of a model named Louisa Livingstone in front of the Maple Durham Watermill, Oxfordshire, England. Very creepy little picture there.
Great cover.
Great cover. Great album as well.
All right.
It was either that or Paranoid. I like this. I kind of like this one better.
Yeah.
My next one, Now, this one had a couple different covers, so I went with the original cover, not the US version of it. And Canadian band Saga with their Worlds Apart album. There's isn't that the same guy from the Parallels almost? Maybe
Isn't that the guy from Phantasm? I don't know. I could be wrong.
No,
The tall man,
yeah, maybe so. But,
Angus Grimm.
but I mean, what a great album though, because it was my introduction to Saga, and thanks to the On the Loose video, so a wonderful one there. Thank you, Lewis.
Yeah.
Okay, my next pick, I had to bring in an Alabama band. Okay, and this was this band's debut album on a kind of their kind of a self-produced, self-labeled kind of thing. The band is called Lynam. This came out in 2002. White Trash Superstar. Now, what is Lynam? Well, they're kind of like I think they were called retro metal. Is how they kind of have that late 90s, about 2000 sound of what metal was doing about at that time. Jacob Bunton, of course, he would go on to be a part of Steven Adler's band for a while. And he was also a very heavily a part of Mick Mars's solo album that just came out recently. So Jacob's gotten his name out there and has done really well. This album is a very interesting album, to say the least. So very good album, though. I've enjoyed listening to it, and you know, it's a fun cover to look at.
Logan Collins, that's a weird looking bra. Young Logan, come on.
Looks like a Ginger Lynn video cover. John,
it probably does.
What's with all the money?
My guess is she was probably just came out of a strip bar. So Lynam was probably if Lynam was playing at your club, you knew you were going to have a good time. And so the strippers were probably out and about. So,
hey, John, whatever
from John saying that.
What happened to this band?
So they've been around. They've got 5 albums out. They still gig every now and then. But as I said, the singer, writer, songwriter, Jacob Bunton, he's gotten his name out there pretty good. He was on Mick Mars's solo album, does a lot of the lead vocal for it. So, and a lot of writing with it. So he was very much a part of that. Steven Adler's from Guns N' Roses. So he's definitely gotten his name out there, and he's pretty good. So,
Right.
Okay, on to Jamie's next 3 picks. Right. Another band that has been mentioned in the comments, Great White with Once Bitten. So we get the shark bait going on here.
Do we know who that is? Does anybody know? Was dating somebody in the band? I don't know. I'm just throwing it out.
Not so sure. That's a very good question. But because she kind of looks a little like the one on maybe Hooked a little bit too. But anyway, another great album there. His next pick, let's go with a little bit of another 80s metal classic, Rat and Invasion of Your Privacy. So there is I believe she was a Playboy Playmate, if my memory serves me correctly.
Her name was Marianne something.
Something, yeah.
Gravin, just like French.
I think she dated Robin Crosby, but then again, who didn't?
No, I think she dated Stephen Pearcy.
Oh, maybe. Oh, it was Tawny Katane that dated Robin Crosby.
Yeah.
Right.
That's the album cover of the day.
That is wait till you get some of mine. They're very pure and innocent. Yeah. This is pure and innocent. She's putting on her socks.
I'll tell you. Well, yeah, there you go. So. All right. My and then Jamie's next pick here, Supertramp, Breakfast in America.
Great cover.
With the great cover of The Waitress. Great album as well. So
excellent. Jamie, I hope you are feeling better tonight, but
yes.
We miss you. But we're carrying on because on the Contrarians, we carry on. All right. Thank you, John. I appreciate it. I guess everybody's shifted. So Tim Derling, you're back up.
Okay. Well, speaking of carry on, John said I had to do this. This is not a shameless plug. I'm going with Kansas Drastic Measures from 1983, which that's not the band. I used to think it was the band. Like I used to think that I'm backwards. That was Phil Ehart. So I'm like, well, then that's got to be the rest of the band. So I want to read from this book that I just happen to have lying around. This is a quote from Mike Ladano. This is him telling, oh, crying out loud.
You're back. You didn't cut out. We heard everything you said.
Keep going.
Keep going. Oh, no.
Oh.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we will come back to Tim Derling. We're going to keep pushing through, and we will now go to Peter Kerr. Peter Kerr, take up. What's your next pick?
Okay, Faith No More. When they call an album of the year, you know you're on to a whipping to nothing. But this is a great album, and it was probably up there as the album of the year. John C., I think you're doing a show very soon on the Faith No More. A little bit of a cross plug, aren't you? Maybe
We're doing.
Anyway.
Mike Ladano's coming on tomorrow night, and we're going to do a live show on it.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm not a part of
there you
that.
go.
Faith No More.
Yeah.
I think we're going to go live. I'm not 100% sure yet. Depends if I can get the graphics done, but more than likely.
Yeah. Anyway, in a similar sort of old type feel where you've got a character that's nothing to do with the band and something that's very sort of old, The Cure, Standing on a Beach. So you've got a very interesting portrait photo, and I think it's quite a nice photograph. There you go. A real character. And I think The Cure and the Smiths are very good at picking sort of characters or British characters to promote their albums, or whether it's a studio album or a singles album. But I like that album.
That's a great comp. You know, at least here in the States, the Elektra pressing of it, if you got the cassette, it had the B-sides on one side and the A-sides on the other.
Yeah.
I've got it. It's a great, I mean, it was great then. Too bad they couldn't have done this like in a 2-record set. I don't know if it ever came back out or re-released like in its entirety, but it's a great comp. I'll leave it at that.
2 things, all killer, no filler on that album. And point 2, where's the Cure album? I know they've got 2 potentially in the can. They've got to get it out. So
I don't know.
Have you heard anything, Grant?
I haven't heard anything. Anybody in the chat, do you know anything? If you're a Cure fan, does anybody know anything about this Cure album? Let us know in the chat.
They did a tour. Todd Evans saw it, thought it was fantastic, played close to 3 hours, played all the hits, but still no album. So it's been there 15 years. It's been a long time. All right,
Tim, before you go, let me adjust your mic. I'll put it back where it was. All right, here we go. We're back.
One more from me before we go back to Tim. Australian band Skyhooks. So this is not the classic era Skyhooks with Shirley Strawn. This is the last album where they changed lead singer. Hot for the Orient. Great cover, not so great album. They went completely new wave. But this is one where the album cover is much better than the music behind it. But I thought I'd put it up. And not unrelated to like Japan or the Sparks and a lot of those geisha type photographs. Anyway, Skyhooks, Hot for the Orient.
Excellent. All right, Christopher's going Wasted Vices. That's a good one. D-Rock or Jay Giles band Love Stinks. Wasted EP. All right. REO, High Infidelity. I think that's Kevin Cronin in the back.
I was about to say.
But the female, I won't know what it is, but I'm pretty sure that's Kevin Cronin back there flipping the record. Agent Steel Great Flying Saucer. I don't know what that is. We're all here to learn, ladies and gentlemen. That guy looks like Jeremy Irons, the actor. Ohio Player Fire. Well, D-Rocker, they had a lot of album covers like that. You could have picked any of them. The band were never on the cover, I don't think. Gosh, D-Rocker, again, Wild Cherry, I Love Music. D-Rocker, are you like on a funk thing? What is going on with you? Here we go. High number. Who's the Rush Power Windows kid? Is he related to the Who's It's Hard kid?
I've got him coming up, but not on Power Windows.
I wonder if it's the same kid. High number. That's so,
but I've got him on another cover coming up. 'Up.
All right. Here's one that's not mentioned. Tommy Bolin Teaser. Little River Band playing to win. But the Little River Band's on there, though. But I don't know about all the other people. All right, let's keep it moving. Gosh, who's next? Me?
It was me.
Let Tim finish.
Tim. Oh,
Tim.
I'm sorry, Tim. I totally went by it. Go ahead.
If I cut out one more time, just forget about me, because StreamYard and I do not get along.
I've noticed.
Yeah.
You sound okay now. Keep going.
So the Drastic Measures album cover with Kansas, those 5 unrelated musicians. This is what Mike Ladano says about this. So folks, watch the album cover. He says, if you ask me, Steven Spielberg is second from left, followed by Donnie Iris wielding the bazooka, and famed WWF manager Classy Freddie Blassie. So that's not the band.
I could see that.
So I never understood the point of this cover. I've actually, Glenn Wexler, the photographer, he's a well-known photographer. He posted the original on his Instagram feed. He posted the original photo from that cover and also the Vinyl Confessions one, which is pretty cool. But yeah, that's my first one of this batch.
Basically, that cover screams to me, "Do not buy me." That's what it says to me.
And the logo's not there. And yeah.
No.
So next up, this cover's been mentioned in the chat a few times. Another Hypnosis. I think this is Hypnosis cover.
I don't think so.
No, it's not. It looks like it could be. It's not. No, Sandy Young. No, it's not. But that's definitely not Foreigner.
Definitely not Foreigner. No.
Definitely not Foreigner. And my final one of this batch, I promised the Power Windows kid would be shown, and I mean it. This is Honeymoon Suite, the big prize. That's the guy that's on the Power Windows cover. I can't think of his first name. His last name's Cunningham. Both Power Windows in this cover are both Hugh Syme covers. So, but yeah, you've got a bunch of people here, and the band is on the back. So that's my next 3.
All right, cool. All right. Ken White, Blink 182. Yeah, we know who that is. Yeah, she was like a porn star or something. U2 Boys, another good one. Well, yeah, it's a gargoyle, but I don't think that's real. We're looking for people. This might pop up tonight. All right, let's keep it going. I guess, is it me? All right, Thanks, John. Again, keep me in line. Because it's a lot. It's hard to read and steer and all that stuff. Okay, my next pick. I think this has been mentioned in the chat, but I think it's a great album cover. They kind of use the same theme throughout their career, at least for 2 album covers. I'm going to go with The Cars, the debut album. I mean, it's iconic, but thinking about this as a debut album, I'm thinking, well, I wonder if they could have done a better cover. I don't know. I think it's a great cover. I mean, she's appeared on here before, so I think it's very good. My next pick, I'm going to go with the band because it all comes back to April Wine, and I'm going to go with April Wine Attitude.
You know who that is, Grant?
I do. That is Miles Goodwin's son.
Yeah, Aaron.
Yeah. And remind me, Tim, this is what year? This is after they 93. They broke up.
Rocking album.
Very good album. We did a whole series in the warehouse on April 1.
Highly recommend that one.
That took a year.
Yep.
So check it out. But I think it's decent. Thank you, April Wine, for coming back, because a lot of those April Wine albums, as we looked at, are well worth checking out. My number 6. This has been mentioned on the show before, but I thought it's always good to mention this band because I'm a big fan. Utopia, Swing to the Right, when they're at the Beatles bonfire in '66, when John Lennon said that the Beatles were more popular than Jesus Christ, but Morin, I can't remember her name, something took it out of context. It's really not what John was saying. And they had these burnings down in Alabama where they're burning all the Beatle records, and it was caused a big uproar.
I wasn't living here at that point, so don't blame me.
I don't.
I wasn't even born yet.
That just goes to show you there's a lot of things today that are taken out of context. I'll leave it at that.
All those first pressings being burnt. Heresy.
Can you imagine? Yeah.
Probably sealed.
Yeah, a whole bunch. And I don't know, was Younger Than Yesterday out yet? Think if Younger Than Yesterday was out, just think of all those butcher covers that got burned. If they
do
made
this
it
every
through.
5 years. Remember Disco Sucks, where they exploded the disco records?
Yeah.
They do this every 5 years.
They do it every 5 years.
Taylor
So
Swift's going to be soon.
well, maybe. That's my number 6. Okay. Johnny Metal, let's throw it over to you.
Okay, so my last 4. So this was a little solo side project, just an EP, but it still classifies it one to me. Robert Plant's The Honey Drippers, Volume 1.
Once I find it.
with its Neil Sedaka cover of Sea of Love, and of course the Rockin' at Midnight. Those videos, just Jeff Beck and Jimmy Page playing on it. Now, I don't know if any of those guys play that you see on the screen or on that cover. Maybe they did play on the album. Who knows?
I don't
Paul
even know
Schaefer
who those
played on
people
it, I know
are.
that.
What's that?
Paul Schaefer played on it.
Yes,
I know that.
yeah, he did. He did.
Was there ever
So,
a volume 2, John?
I don't think so.
Nope.
I
This
don't
is
think
it.
so. That was it. They never did any more honey dripping. Okay, so all right. So I've seen this one my next one and mentioned a few times in the comments. This would be the last album to feature Peter Gabriel on vocals with Genesis, the beautiful Lamb Lies Down on Broadway.
Yeah.
With again, just a very bizarre cover. How are they able to, how is Rail able to be holding on to John, and they are like, Rail's in this waterfall, but John's in this like room, and it's like, I just don't get this.
It's very
album
surreal.
cover.
Is that a Hypnosis cover?
I believe it is.
It looks like Hypnosis.
Yeah.
I know Trick of the Tail was.
Yeah.
Maybe they got the wrong album cover. It was for somebody else.
Yeah, maybe. But there's and I don't even think that's a lamb in the third picture. It doesn't look like it. So
It's a
much.
weird cover. I don't.
It is a very weird.
I
And
don't get it.
the pictures in the inside are really kind of strange. So now my next one, I also have seen this one in the comments as well. I hated to be the poor guy getting punched in the face for this one. Pantera's Vulgar Display of Power.
Uh-huh.
I mean, that's a hardcore punch. I don't know.
Broken something.
That probably would kill somebody.
Kill somebody, orbital bone, broken nose, dental work. All I know is the album matches the music perfectly. It just is a sledgehammer to your head. So great album there.
Chris, that wasn't. What was her name in that show? Well, Mimi.
Yeah, I think.
No, that's not Mimi. But Chris, we've talked about this on this show. That is one horrible album cover. No Cheap Trick logo. The cover is hideous.
Yeah.
The album's not too bad though. I will give it
the
that.
delete bins.
Made it to the delete bins.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, and now
What's next?
Now my last and final pick. Actually, John, a Music Nut, and I did a little show on this album, and we still can't figure out why is this guy sleeping at some street corner, dreaming about buildings with these monsters coming out of the top of it. I'm talking about Steely Dan's The Royal Scam. Absolutely beautiful album. Love it from start to finish. But boy, that cover is just the weirdest looking thing.
You know, you could pick that album if you didn't know what Steely Dan sounded like.
Yeah,
You might be like, "Oh, this looks heavy."
It does.
it does. Yeah, it certainly does. But so there's my picks. Now let me give you Jamie's last 4 picks. His first one, I've heard you guys kind of talk about this one. Deep Purple's Bananas.
Okay, I'm going to throw this out to the people in the comments. Is this a good cover or not?
No.
No.
I mean,
Peter,
you
says a Deep Purple cover isn't good. It's not good.
there you go.
Well,
Deep Purple.
It's a little better than Equals One, which is absolutely mind-blowingly cheap and ordinary.
Well, this is just
I mean,
them buying clip art somewhere and using these guys to smell bananas.
Yeah, there's not much to it.
Yeah, that's a
Good album, though.
Whoever got paid to design that one, boy. Hope they got paid lots.
Let's
I think
see.
you could put 6 monkeys around a table and they would have come up with that
Neutral
idea.
neutral mass says bad.
And they would have worked for bananas, so it would have been cheap.
Yeah, there you go.
Boom,
So
boom.
far, everyone hates it. No. Hack says no.
No.
All right.
Bananas are not ripe. Okay. Jamie's next pick. I've already mentioned this guy as we think he was on the Parallels cover and everywhere else, but Megadeth's Countdown to Extinction. So there again, it could be the guy from Parallels, could be the guy from The Unforgiven. Who knows? Yeah. He just made the rounds.
And that's Hugh Syme again that did Parallel, so he might have had that guy on retainer.
Maybe so.
You have to hand it to Hugh Syme because his work, I don't think when you look at his work, I wouldn't know unless it's listed on the cover of who produced it. It seems like he can produce his artwork and it seems very neutral to me. Like look at Permanent Waves and then look at this, but look at every Rush cover. They're all so different.
But if you look at enough of Hugh's work, you start to see some commonalities, especially like if you look at, say, the Whitesnake album, and then you look at Bon Jovi, New Jersey, like that, when that Whitesnake album became big, he told me this himself, shameless plug, but he got a lot of work off of that. That's how he ended up doing a lot of work for Geffen. But yeah, there is a look to it. And the Queensryche album covers like Promised Land and Here in the Now Frontier. And also, if you look inside any CD that Hugh did the cover for, the font's always the same too.
Oh, okay. There you go. That's a good indicator. But it's not like Roger Dean where it really just pops. You instantly know it.
There's just a certain photographic, and I don't know the terms for it, but there's a way that it looks.
Mm-hmm.
Well, going back to hypnosis for a quick second. So you talk about the dog on the Animal Magnetism album.
Yeah.
Somebody threw this at me and they said, didn't he use that dog in the American version of Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap from AC/DC?
Could very well be.
It could very well be.
Because that's hypnosis too.
That is hypnosis. So there's something for y'all in the comments. So
let us know in the comments. Is that the same dog? We want to know.
All right. Jamie's last two picks. Eve from Alan Parsons Project.
Once I find it. Okay, here we go.
The Pieces of 8 look like
bookends.
Yeah.
Yep, very much so. And then his last pick was was Strange Days from The Doors.
And there it is. Great album
Very
cover.
good.
Very classic.
Isn't that
cover.
Joel Brodsky? Am I pronouncing his name right?
Yeah, I think so.
I can't remember.
I'm pretty sure he did the first Kiss album too.
Yeah, same guy.
Yeah.
Good cover though. I like his work. So it's wonderful. Here we go. Luis. Susie and the Banshees, The Scream. Yeah, that's a bit. Logan says it's a big, busy dog. Is that Megadeth cover Lars' father?
Yeah, certainly not.
H.R. Geiger's the man. Yeah. Fate's Warning did a bunch of covers that fit this. Perfect Symphony, Parallels, A Pleasant Shade of Gray, Disconnected.
I agree, John. I agree with that.
Dave would have fired that guy if it was the same one from Unforgiven.
Probably.
ELP Brain Salad Surgery, UFO Forset. Yeah. There's another hypnosis cover.
Yeah.
All right, let's keep her going. All right, Tim, you're up.
All right. Knock on wood. Okay. We got another soundtrack. John Bon Jovi, Young Guns 2, the Blaze of Glory, Young Guns 2 soundtrack. Now, I know that's a poster from the movie. I can't do things backwards. But I'm a little surprised that he didn't put himself in here because if I'm not mistaken, I only saw the movie once when it was current. I think he has a cameo in this, but anyway.
Yeah, he falls backwards into a well.
Yeah. Okay, so there's my first one. Next up, another hypnosis cover. I did a hypnosis show. It's always fun looking at this. Nazareth, Close Enough for Rock and Roll. You get the fans looking into the limousine on both sides. The band's on the inside, but not on the outside.
What year was that? Remind me what year that was.
76.
I wonder if the knack, but the little girls understand the inner sleeve if they looked at this and got the idea for that.
I think they did.
I think they did.
So
Absolutely.
Montrose, Warner Brothers presents Montrose, 1975. It's done up like a movie poster. The band is not here. It's actually not a bad album.
Cool cover that.
Yeah, it's not a bad album by any means.
Yeah. And finally, this one has been mentioned in the chat, the debut Loverboy album. I think when this came out, a lot of people thought that was Loverboy. That's actually a woman. She was the photographer.
Oh.
Also could have been a cheap trick cover because of the typewriter font on it.
Yeah.
So that's my 4.
Excellent.
Thanks for letting me back so many times.
Hey, it's loose. It's all right. We got you here. We'd wait for you, Tim. No big worry. We're all good. We're all friends here. And again, thanks everybody for tuning in tonight. Ken White's got one. Humble Pie, go for the throat. Young Logan gives Montrose a thumbs up. Oh, Logan, that dog became a millionaire unlike poor Bon. Oh, my.
Wow.
The Monks, Bad Habits. I don't know that one.
That's got a nun on the cover. They did that great song, Drugs in My Pocket. You must remember that song.
Is it the Monks, the band from the 60s?
No.
There's a different Monks.
Yeah, this was kind of a punkish band, late 70s. I don't think it's the same band, but I just know they have that song.
I don't think it's the same one. Okay. Is the pros and cons of hitchhiking girl still hitchhiking? If anybody in the chat knows that answer, please let us know. Grand Funk, what's funk? That definitely fits. And you know what? That's not a Hypnosis cover, but it sure looks like it.
Is that the one with the girl with the jumper cable?
Spark plugs.
Yeah.
But doesn't that look like a Hypnosis cover?
It certainly does.
A very cheap version of it.
Yeah. I always thought that Robert Plant's Pictures at 11 was a Hypnosis cover, but it's not. But it looks like it could be. There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so.
Single cover.
Here we go. I think we might see this tonight. The girl on the next second album cover was Sharon. Yeah, but we'll talk about that. She made his motor run, and that is a true statement. All right, let's keep her going. That was Tim. Peter, you're up.
Okay, shameless plug on Rock Daydream Nation. I had the great Ryan Gavalier on, and we did Desert Island Steely Dan. And I actually picked this album as my favorite.
Once I find it.
By a Frill, Steely Dan. So
love
it. Their first album, that sort of is the sweet spot. It's kind of a really sleazy, erotic type of album cover. It looks like grimy New York, 42nd Street, and it really fits the New York vibe of this album. So love it a lot, Steely Dan. In Excess, Shaboo Shabar. This was their breakthrough album in America. I don't know who's holding up the dog, but it's certainly not Michael Hutchence or many of the band. But it's a really sort of effective, moody sort of album cover, and it's a great album and worth revisiting. So that's In Excess, Shaboo Shabar. The Church. Remember when we did a show on The Church many years ago, Grant? The Blurred Crusade.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
Yeah, so this is just kind of their medieval, very sort of kind of different to the jangly psychedelic pop. They're not really, in the early albums, they weren't really into showing photos of themselves. They got more into that, but this is sort of suits the psychedelic sort of jangly pop of the Church. And the final album that I'm going to select, which we have spoken about, is The Knack, But the Little Girls Understand. And Prescott Niles told me that the record company spent about $2 million just to do this album cover. So this is actually a microphone stand, and that's actually Sharona in the front of the stage. And it took them a day or a couple of days just to get it perfectly lined up. So this is where record companies were just throwing money. It was just excessive just to get the right shot. And we all know how this album went. It sank like a stone, but it's a bloody good album. I love it.
All right. Cool. The Monks were only popular in Canada pretty much. Saw them live on the Bad Habits tour. Well, there was another Monks that these guys all dressed like monks, and they're from the 60s. Infinite Zero put it out on CD, and I think it had some other reissues too. There's more than one Monks floating around. Guitar Hack, the Monks were awesome. Well, I'm going to have to check it out. Steelheart, meanwhile, back in Paris. There you go.
That's another Hypnosis cover.
Yeah. The Smiths, Meat is Murder. There's a lot of Smiths albums that could follow under this topic. A lot of great covers out there. Here we go. Angels Vinyl Planet. Fastway Trick or Treat soundtrack. What else? Well, that's about it. Let me go to my picks and we'll keep her moving. We're almost done. We're going to wrap this dog up soon. My next pick, once I scroll up and find it, there's a lot of graphics here, ladies and gentlemen. Now, this pick, I kind of thought about it early on because I kind of was on a tangent, and I'm not sure if this woman is enjoying this picture or if we should call somebody. I hope she was able to escape. I'm not exactly sure what's going on in this picture, but we're going to share it with you. This was the original cover. The cover was banned, but we like to put it out there on the edge, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to go with Hurricane, Slave to the Thrill.
Huge time once again.
Yep.
It's a great cover, but it looks like it's like an outtake from Alien, like Ripley's on something. I don't know.
That's Alien After Dark.
Great cover, but it offended a lot of people.
That wouldn't have got sold in Walmart. They would have put
Walmart would have banned that.
Nope.
But we're living on the edge here, so to speak.
So the other person just takes her out, right? Like
it's like the same shot without her in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she looks happy, I think. I can't tell. All right, here we go. My next one. This kind of set me on a tangent, but this is actually the drummer's sister, for those who didn't know. But this album really didn't do anything for like a year. And then when they released it, kind of took off. What was that video? And whether you like it or not, I'm going to show it anyway. Blind Melon, the first self-titled album. But that's the drummer's sister. Poor kid had to live with that. And she was in the video too, correct?
I think it's a different girl in the video.
Is it?
So I think it was a different girl dressed like in the bee costume.
So this led me on, since I'm already in Blind Melon territory, I thought, well, okay, what else? And then this popped into my head. Well, popped up to my look, Blind Melon Soup. I don't know who that guy is. Isn't that their manager or something? He's somebody. Or the producer, or he's somebody. Has something to do with the band. But this album did not do very well. Critics hated it. I don't find the album too bad, but kind of meanders here and there, but it's all right. It works for me. And my next pick is a pick no one's even mentioned. I didn't see it in the chat, but of course I'm not monitoring like I should. I'm going to go with Nirvana Nevermind. How could you not pick this?
I thought about it, but I thought, nah, it's going to be too popular.
It's low-hanging fruit. See,
Literally.
Jason doesn't like Blind Melon. But anyway, there you go. We know that's had many lawsuits because the kid trying to get money out of it because he didn't give consent or something when he was like, however old that kid is, 6 months old. I don't know.
Hope he does okay.
I think he probably did okay. Count Ralph has said something. Oh, here we go. Except Balls to the Wall, worst album cover of all time.
Don't know about that.
I don't
think
know.
that's
It's nicely lit. Nicely lit.
It's not a bad album cover.
I gotta say that Blind Faith one is probably the worst one, or maybe Virgin Killer.
Virgin Killer. Yeah.
Don't even go there, Tim.
Yeah,
That's
Nirvana.
Yeah,
Out.
please
an album
don't.
cover.
Please don't.
What else we're saying? Victory self-titled. Oh,
Is that the one? Victory self-titled. Is that the one where the woman she's making a V? I'll just put it that way.
I think so.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. She's pretty flexible. Permanent
Reminds me of that
Waves
Free
Rush.
album cover.
That is my favorite Hugh Symes cover and my favorite Rush album cover, Permanent Waves.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I think it's absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
Morin, Misplaced Childhood. Yep, that's a good one. I don't know. I'm looking.
D-Rock yes on Victory, so I'm right about that.
I couldn't have said that better myself, Elder.
Wait a minute. What did Elder say? I prefer melons that can see.
That aren't blind.
Oof.
Yeah.
What time
I don't know
is
what
it?
a blind melon means.
Hey.
Here's one, Logan Collins, Touch, self-titled. That works.
Yeah.
Let's see what else. Gentlemen, I think we've done it. It's 8:00. We went 55 minutes. We're running a little late, but we got done at 8:00. Oh, here one. Open up and say ah.
Love Beach. There's Love Beach. Somebody had to mention it, but that's them. So
that's them though, so that doesn't work.
Is it really them? Could be imposters.
It could be the Bee Gees. Did anyone really look that closely? All right, cool. I think we've done it, gentlemen. I want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. Kept it loose. It's fun. Come on. The Wednesday live chat's always a good time. I want to thank the panel tonight. We had Johnny Metal, Peter Kerr, and Tim from Vinyl Confessions. But their links will be down below. Please check out their channels. If you haven't subscribed yet, why haven't you? And in the meantime, subscribe to the Contrarians, for goodness sakes. We always do this live show. We try to do it every Wednesday. Every now and then, maybe we don't do it because something happens, but we are able to pull this show together. We have a Patreon. Please join it if you'd like. A lot of great content on there. We have a Ko-fi. Buy us a cup of coffee or a pint. We like that. Also, we have merchandise. Get yourself a captain hat, a Contrarians captain's hat. No, we don't have those. But get yourself a Contrarians t-shirt, for God's sakes. But I think Contrarians captain hat might be a good idea. Also, we like donations. We love money here in the Contrarians. We do this because we like to talk music. And really, all these live shows are about is just to turn you on to stuff. Maybe you want to go check out these albums. That's all it's about. Other than that, I think we can call it an evening, gentlemen. Thanks again for coming on. And we'll be back next week. I'm not sure what the topic is. And I'm not sure what's up on the Contrarians. Oh, I do know what's coming up. Tomorrow should be premiering tomorrow. I'm going to make it premiere tomorrow. Kiss Top 10 track should be premiering sometime tomorrow night. So cross your fingers if it's done. But we here in our Patreon group, we throw all the shows out a day early. So that'll be premiering tonight on the Patreon and premiering tomorrow on YouTube. All right, everybody. We'll see you. Keep it clean. And what else? We'll see you next time. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
See you later.
Yeah, that was good. We had like 80 people